Our next story begins with a heartbreaking situation. Zoe, a miniature poodle, spent day after day cramped in a cold, filthy cage at a Missouri puppy mill. She was never allowed out of that tiny space, even to stretch her legs, never given toys or treats. Zoe was never shown love. That is until the Humane Society of Missouri Animal Cruelty Task Force came to her rescue. You will not believe Zoe's dramatic transformation from a terrified puppy mill survivor to a happy, healthy dog who now enriches the lives of residents at a local senior center.
Zoe and I enjoy going on walks. She's actually just a really big snuggle bug. She loves to, snuggle on the couch. A friend of mine calls her a love sponge because all she wants to do is be petted and be loved. So we spend a good amount of time doing that. When I first adopted Zoe from the Humane Society of Missouri, I understood that she was a puppy mill rescue dog. She was part of a raid in mid-Missouri and was brought in with about 60 other dogs. I understood that there was video of the raid from the puppy mill, and so I went online and it was on the internet, and I only watched it once. It was pretty disturbing to see. Zoe's actually in the video with her 2 puppies that she had at the time. And so I watched it. She had a lot of fur, was very matted, it was very dirty, and it was just upsetting to watch, but at the same time I felt like it was important to know where she came from so that I could kind of better understand her. Everybody hears about puppy mills, but I think it's kind of an abstract concept until you actually see video of the conditions that the dogs are living in, and it's just horrific to really put a picture to the word of puppy mill, and it really makes you realize what a problem it is and how we need to do more to protect these animals. When I first met Zoe, she needed some surgery. She needed to be spayed and she needed to have some bladder stones removed. And I was really pleasantly surprised that the Humane Society was taking care of all of that. They were going to make sure that Zoe was healthy before she was adopted. When Zoe first came home, she really was not very fit. When you'd walk her around the block, sometimes she wouldn't even get around the block before she'd lay down in the middle of the sidewalk. She was used to being in a cage, and so now she had an opportunity to build up her endurance and take longer walks, and we just started out small and got longer and longer over time until she had, a lot more energy. Zoe's been such a blessing. She came into my family and just needed a little bit of extra attention at the beginning, but has really blossomed into a dog that has so much to give to me and to other people. She just had such a calm, loving way about her. So I heard about support dogs, and I knew that they did visits to hospitals and long-term care facilities, and I thought that would be a really good fit for Zoe. Zoe and I go visit at Garden View Care Center every 2 weeks on Tuesday nights, and so when I come home from work, she has a special harness that she wears when we go as a touch therapy team, and so when I get the blue harness out, she knows she's going to visit. When Zoe and I visit at Garden View, we typically go with 3 other dogs. So there are 4 touch teams that are visiting at the same time. 1 big dog, 2 medium-sized dogs, and Zoe's the little dog of the group. So we go into the main area at Garden View where residents are, it's usually from 6 to 7 p.m. And so residents have finished dinner and they're maybe watching TV or, sitting out in a common area, and that's where we visit.
Aren't you a baby doll? You are, sweetheart.
So when I see a resident, I ask them, I'm here with Zoe tonight, would you like to pet her? And it's their choice if they'd like to pet her or not. There are some people that get so excited when they see Zoe. Some people are big dog people, some people are little dog people, and the people who really want to visit with a little dog are very happy to see Zoe. You can really tell that the dog visits have an impact on the residents. You can tell that they're, maybe calmer, maybe happier. You can tell that they've enjoyed the opportunity to be with a pet. Maybe they aren't able to have their pet any longer, and this is a nice way for them to be able to have a relationship with an animal. At the end of the visit at Garden View, actually the Garden View receptionist gives treats to all the dogs who were there to visit that night, so she enjoys that part of the visit as well.